I think that temperatures are likely going up. They're likely going up due to man-made causes. However, the actual best way to protect against the effects of climate change isn't through abandoning fossil fuels. It is through more fossil fuel usage. That's a blunt reality where you look at the number of people who die of climate-related disasters today. For every 100 that died in 1920, 2 die today. That's a 98% reduction. And that's driven by advances powered by fossil fuels. And so I think that, yes, you got to see the facts with clear eyes, but you can't approach them with a religious zealotry that causes you to only adopt one set of behaviors that actually are even self-defeating. For example, the hostility towards nuclear energy in the climate movement, or even the fact that they're fine with shifting production to places like China and Russia where methane leakage is far worse, and methane is worse for global warming than carbon dioxide, actually reveals that this agenda isn't about the climate. It's about a religious zealotry that's grounded in this vision of equity. And then the last question you asked was, I used to call myself a libertarian, and so I think I still have a lot of libertarian instincts still left in me. What's going on there with big tech censorship? Shouldn't companies actually still be allowed to decide what does and doesn't show up on their websites, for example? Well, you know what? I don't call it big tech censorship anymore. I call it what it is: government tech censorship. Because what we see today is the government is using these companies. It's pressuring them through threats, giving them special inducements like Section 230C2, among others, to do through the back door what government could not do through the front door under the Constitution. And I say that if it is state action in disguise, then the Constitution still applies. These companies ought to be bound by the First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States if they're working hand in glove with the government, protected by the government, to do what the government could not do directly. And you're right, these are complex issues, and so I'm not here to recite some sort of Friedmanite slogans that I'm trying to retrofit the present reality into. To the contrary, part of the reason, to the extent I did do this, a presidential run or otherwise, is waking up to the fact that these new realities demand new dogmas, demand new principles, and that's a big part of what I'd like to be a part of.